Welcome to week 10. So this week we're going to create the very first draft of your content analysis project. So if you watch everything that's going on in D2L, you'll see that you're going to have a total of 3 drafts. So this isn't the get the whole entire thing done. This is get it started and start figuring out where your analysis is, where your data is, what that looks like. Okay, so what I would recommend you start with is go back to the assignment sheet. I list all of the subheadings that I would highly recommend you use on the assignment draft, on the assignment overview. So pick the tool that you're going to use, whether it's Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint, and put all of the subheadings in there. So a little note, if you use PowerPoint, because I find that you don't have to fight it as much when you start adding images and you start adding graphs, but you're not creating a PowerPoint presentation, right? You're using, I guess we should really say, we're misusing PowerPoint to create an essay because it doesn't fight us as much as Word does. Those are really your 2 choices. There are some parts of Canva that can be useful, but you really need to be really familiar with using Canva if that's the direction that you're going to go, okay? Because this project requires graphs and images and headings, and most likely color and design too, to really help build your point. So for this week and for draft 1, start with, I need to see all the subheadings that you are going to capture in your project. They're not going to be filled in, they're just going to exist using the subheading tools that are provided so that they are accessible. So use the tools that are provided by the tool that you're using, so there are accessibility tools within it. And then start with the data and the data analysis. So what will not go in the middle of your draft is your data chart. Your data chart at this point, after you've submitted it to me and you've gotten feedback on it, goes at the end of your essay in an appendix. So you'll add a section that says appendix, and then you put all of your raw data there because I need to see all of your raw data for this whole project. What will be in the middle of the project are data graphs plural. You don't want to just show one and say, look, here's my finding and here's my analysis. You need to show multiple because you need to answer and address your research question in multiple ways using the data that you've gathered. So I would recommend you start with this week graphing the data that you have, put the data charts in there, and then start analyzing and describing and putting it all together. You have done the data collection, which means you can fill out the method too, so you'll get feedback now. The first round of the method, you're probably not going to have enough steps in there. So then I can provide additional information to help you really flesh it out so that everyone can follow it. Beyond that, that's all you really need this week. Get those sections started so that you're making progress towards the final project. If you have questions while you're working on them, questions about the graphs that you're using, let me know. Again, there are, not handouts, there are pages in D2L that go over how to create the graph, and then there's a whole section at the top of this module with writing supports to help you flesh out each of these sections, and it provides additional information. It doesn't cover the analysis because everyone's is unique. You all asked different research questions, so I can't provide analysis help because you need to look to your question and look to your data, and then you need to explain how your data is answering your research question. That is the focus for everybody, and that's like the extent of the writing help that goes there. The other sections I do have some information on, so be sure to use those as you're working through your drafting. If you have any questions, send me a note on Tumblr, stop by office hours, or send me an email. Otherwise, I'll see you online.